And a kid out of nowhere says, "Oh, just lots of mushrooms. Just dried mushrooms." And the officer just gave me the craziest look. And my face just turned red. I'm like, ah! It's definitely not drugs. I can guarantee you, if you want to see it, we can open it. I'll show you the dried mushrooms. Hi everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. We just helped two families re-enter the United States. So the legal problem for these cases, both of them, green card holders out of the country for a significantly long time. If they come back in, there's a high chance their green card would be confiscated, or they will be given an NTA, notice of intent to appear, go to immigration court. The family cannot let that happen. So they retain us and we try to help. I'll start with the kid story because actually that's more fun and interesting and more smooth. And yes, left for like 5 years. Yes, the whole family got the green card and immediately left the United States. They got the green card through the EB-5 investment program. They've been out for a long time. Kid is going to school, international school, very fluent in English, capable, smart, got accepted to great universities in the US, part of like an Ivy League exchange program. Just all in all, excellent kid. But the law is the law. He's been out for a long time. Now, there is a precedent that there's a law that says if a kid is overseas studying, you cannot hold that against them. There's a temporary end date to the schooling, and then they will come back. And in the US, they have, family, extended family, they have house, they have investment, they have retirement. I was able to clear everything up and it was smooth. The craziest thing about the kid's case was that when I was presenting the case in front of the officer, and the officer already proved everything, and said like everything is fine, and just asked, do you have anything to declare? Do you have anything to declare? No, nothing to declare, nothing, right? Nothing in our bags. We're just bring stuff home, and a kid out of nowhere says, "Oh, just lots of mushrooms, just dried mushrooms." I know what the kid meant. I eat a lot of dried mushrooms. My kids like dried mushrooms. We like dried plums. It's a thing. And the officer just gave me the craziest look. Like, what is this kid talking about? And my face just turned red. I actually never turn red. But I got so flustered. And I was like, like dried mushrooms, the things you eat, like the things, like Trader Joe's dried mushrooms. Have you ever had it? I eat all the time. It was so, and the kid is just so innocent. And I actually said, the kid is innocent, it's definitely not drugs. I can guarantee you, if you want to see it, we can open it. I'll show you the dried mushrooms. Mushrooms does not have the best connotation with law enforcement, right? And the fact that it's dried, and the fact that it's powdered, and on top of, while being flustered, explaining everything, the kid came to my defense and said, "Oh, no, we just brought it from home. It's not even ours." I'm like, ah! But the officer thought it was hilarious and still let us in. Didn't even check our bags. I don't know what to say about that other than you can't expect these things. You can't expect everything to be smooth all the time. Like the monk case that we did like last year, where he bought powders of white powder, incense, because he's a monk. I mean, I just could not imagine what people will bring, right? Oh, now, and tangentially, now we're talking about the next case, is the Bangladesh case. He brought like a ton of watches and glasses and belts, and he's decked out in like high-end gear. And I looked at it. He got in trouble with the Mexico border. Like when he flew into Mexico, they had to like open all his luggage. Then he had to pay a fine because it's like, what are these things? Is it for resale? Is it counterfeit? They're really high-end stuff, But anyways, let's talk about this Bangladesh case. Okay, so 2018, he left the US. He got a reentry permit. He was supposed to come back. COVID hit. Every flight was canceled. He couldn't come back. So like in this package, we went through his eye surgeries. He could not see for a while. Both his parents are in the US, and they were US citizen. His brother and sister are US citizen. So they're all here. And he had to go to India for a surgery. So he even traveled to India, take care of things. Then went back to Bangladesh and then applied for SB1 visa and got denied. And, just one medical issue after another. Can't really speak English that fluently. Now, the reason why this case, even though left the US for 7 years, we were planning on flying him back to the US and deal with it at immigration court, was because the entire family, they're here, US citizens. They can re-petition for them, right? So every time during my consultations, I always say, when you come in, when do you need to leave again? Can you stay here for the next year, 2 years, 3 years? We could just reapply, even if they take your green card away. But the family didn't want to deal with immigration court. They were freaked out by the whole ICE situation. I mean, we prepared the entire package so that they were going to go. And then, I think just a few weeks before going, they said, no, we changed our mind. We want the absolute safest route, and we trust your Mexico entry service. So please just go ahead and do that. But we wouldn't have expected him being like 3 luggages full of, expensive gear. Now, what's interesting about this case was that because we had to go through 7 years of information, like the reason why it's so thick is because we needed to document what happened every single year. And some of the things I thought was really, really important, the officer actually didn't care that much about. Every time, tax returns were always the main thing they ask. So that was a troubling thing about this case. He didn't have all the years. But what the officer actually cared more about was, why was the SB1 denied? And in the past, the officer understood that the consulates are just super strict with SB1s, and the officers did not agree that consulates should be so strict on the SB1s. But I think what got it over the fence was just the fact that the entire family are US citizens. They are all here. Even if the officer did confiscate the green card, we'll be able to get it right back. But anyways, valid green card, new I-90 in process, about to get approved. Obviously, very sophisticated individual, good looking, and we were able to come in. And that's it for these 2 cases. If you have any questions about these type of cases, feel free to let us know. Take care. Bye-bye.